we go to another question that I pulled out from the YouTube chat line on last week, and that goes to this Alabama secondary. I know a lot of you guys talked about, who is going to step up? Who do we need to look for as Tide fans? Who do we need to look for in the Alabama secondary? Well, most people say you have to look at Patrick Surtain, and you do. He's got to pop this year. He's got to hit this year. He's got to become the full package playmaker this year in the secondary. It's not a coincidence that we've had, quite a few former players that have been featured on this show. They talk about this defensive secondary goes as Patrick Surtain goes. If he's a lockdown, shutdown cornerback, Alabama could have an undefeated regular season with a national championship. If he's not a lockdown corner, Alabama could potentially lose 1 to 2 games again. So people are really putting it all on Patrick Surtain to get this thing done this year. Guys, look at Josh Jobe. Can Josh Jobe take that next step of being passionate, being physical, but not allowing that to, bleed into him getting called for defensive holding, defensive pass interference. Be passionate, but not get too hot-tempered. I'll put it like that in terms of Josh Jobe. People are highly excited to see Jordan Battle this year. And I believe he's the guy that's going to take that huge Minkah Fitzpatrick, Clinton Dix type of jump when you discuss his range, his tackling ability, his ball skills, his tendency to high point the football, to track the ball from number to number, hash mark to hash mark. Jordan Battle is a big deal. And then you even have people talking about Daniel Wright. Can he be a leader this year? Finally, it's his time. He sat behind Minkah Fitzpatrick. He sat behind Ronnie Harrison. He sat behind Xavier McKinney. He sat behind Levi Wallace. He sat behind a lot of guys, and he learned from those guys. Also throw Jarrett Maiden in there as well. But is this finally the moment where Daniel Wright out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, former 4-star in the 2017 class, we know he's matured his body, and he's matured his body, he's matured his play, on the field in terms of his knowledge of the system. But is it time for him to be a leader on this defense? And while all of these guys are important, they're all important, the name for me that I would circle, put a star by, because I think this is the most intriguing character in this Alabama secondary, and that is none other than one Demarcco Hellams coming into his sophomore year out of Washington, D.C. Demarcco Hellams at 6'1", he's listed at 213 pounds, but he's actually dropped weight. He's now in between 202 and 205 pounds. And what makes Demarcco intriguing is how the Washington, D.C., Maryland area has become the new recruiting hotbed here for Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide. Now, this is not saying that Alabama is done with recruiting the state of Florida. Absolutely not. Alabama's still going to get Florida, still going to recruit Georgia, still going to recruit Mississippi and Louisiana and Tennessee and California when it needs to. But it's just starting to feel like that Washington, D.C., Maryland area has become the new love child in terms of recruiting for Nick Saban when you discuss getting Terrell Lewis from the area, Keelan Robinson from the area, the likes of Darian Dalcourt from the area, Demarcco Hellams from the area. You picked up Chris Broswell from the area. You even had a Yabi Anoma from the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, even though Anoma didn't work out. So you see some guys that Alabama has picked up from that area. Nick Saban's going to continue to visit the landscape of Washington, D.C. / Maryland. But Demarcco Hellams, a solid high school player. His senior year of high school, we're talking about a guy that played defensive back and wide receiver. As a receiver, over 1,000 yards his senior year, 1,469, had 91 tackles, had 12 picks that season, and he was actually the backup dime back behind Xavier McKinney. In that dime back role, that sixth defensive back, the money back, as Coach Saban refers to it as, that position, the responsibility there, you are taking on bigger receivers, bigger tight ends. You also have to come down in the box and help out there with run support, with run protection and stopping the run. And my chances of getting the opportunity to talk with one Jarrett Maiden before he went to the San Francisco 49ers as an undrafted rookie free agent. He spoke about how Demarcco has a lot of talent. Hellams has a lot of ability. Now, he came in a bit on the heavy side at 213. He had to cut that weight. So once he cut that weight, he still has got that thickness, that thumping ability to come down, lay the wood, and be that enforcer at 205 pounds. But he's also got some quickness in his footwork to play free, to play back there in coverage. So it's going to be cool there watching Hellams continue to grow. Another thing with him is, while he's projected to start as that dime linebacker, that dime safety, keep your eyes on Hellams too, fighting for one of these two safety positions here, either free or strong safety. I don't think he passes up Jordan Battle. I don't think he beats Battle out at all. There's a lot of high expectations for Jordan Battle. But where Daniel Wright comes in, here's where Demarcco could possibly have a shot to push, to knock Daniel Wright off the ledge to be a starter. Now, I'm a huge Daniel Wright fan, and I want to see Daniel Wright do well. And I want to see him start, and I want to see him be that leader that I know he can be in that secondary at that strong safety position. But if there was a situation, if there was maybe a moment where Demarcco Hellams can push, once again, just like the dime safety position is that enforcer role, the strong safety position is an enforcer role too, as you're still taking on receivers. You're still lighting up tight ends coming across the middle of the field. You're still walking down into the box and boom, putting your hat on a running back, knocking that guy backwards. So Demarcco Hellams, to me, very intriguing piece here. He's a guy that you got to circle, put a star by, and go, this guy's interesting. Everybody wants to see Patrick Surtain pop, myself included. People want to see Josh Jobe step up, be physical, play smart and intelligent, myself also. People want to see Jordan Battle take that huge jump. I do as well. And Daniel Wright become that leader. And there are other guys like Jalen Armour-Davis, like Marcus Banks, like Brandon Turnage, like Jaquez Robinson, among others. The secondary is just littered with big-time talent. But if I had to put my finger on who's the most intriguing piece, who's the most interesting piece, I would go with one Demarcco Hellams at that safety position. But folks, we're going to take another break here, folks. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this thing, wrap up this Monday edition of the show. Don't touch that dial, folks. We're coming back.
Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month, or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Back into the action, folks. In my own words, on a Monday, appreciating every last one of you for checking us out on today. As you guys in the chat now are talking about the Washington Redskins changed their name, the NFL team. So what is the new name for Washington now, since they have gone away from the previous name? That's going to be interesting right there. But I mean, you might as well call them the Washington Roll Tides, all the Bama players on that team. When you look at Cam Sims and Sean Dion Hamilton, Deron Payne, Ryan Anderson, Landon Collins, Jonathan Allen. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, you might as well call them the Washington Roll Tides. Every Bama player in the history of the program is on. But how could I forget Reuben Foster's on that team, too? Yes, the Washington Roll Tides. I mean, it would have been good that they would have picked up Tua Tagovailoa as well, but I guess it was just not meant to be. Well, maybe they'll pick up Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle in the 2021 draft. Who knows there? But kudos to Washington for trying to get that name change. But the guy, as I've mentioned prior to taking the break, that I would have my finger on the pulse of, guys, in terms of the secondary is one Demarcco Hellams. I think he's talented. I think he's very talented. Now, if the chips fall as they are projected right now, he starts as the dime safety, the money back. But if there's an opportunity for him to snatch a starting spot, I will look at him in that strong safety role. I like Daniel Wright. I'm not saying I don't. Love the young man. I think he's a really good player, talented athlete. But I just think that this guy in Hellams, he's got the size, he's got the footwork down, he's got the ability to kind of be that enforcer that you need on the back end. And once again, that Washington, D.C., Maryland area, really big hotbed there for Coach Nick Saban. But, folks, if you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage on your Crimson Tide, this is very simple, very easy to do here. You can access this by going to the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You can download this app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. Now, for your audio listening needs, we have you covered here on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I will return on Wednesday, continuing the conversation on your favorite program, the Alabama Crimson Tide. As always, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. Link will be found in the description, purchasing those individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing those things legitimately now to not be bored. Get those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.